Hi there. Hope you're having a beautiful day. It's very storming here in Bali. Very, very powerful. Of all the places I've ever been in the world, this place is the most powerful for me. It's really amazing. The whole island is like one big temple. Just, stupas everywhere and incense and prayers and flowers. It's totally magical. And, the thing that you realize when you're here is that they make it magical. The people here make it magical through their faith and through their devotion. And with the flowers and the temples and the incense, they're drawing down the magic of the divine realms into this reality. And, they don't have a lot of money. They have much less money than most people watching this video. But they certainly smile a whole lot more. And it really begs the question, why do we focus constantly so much on our negativity? Now, we've talked a lot in the last couple of months about how important it is to get real about the suffering that we've been through and not bullshit ourselves into some love and light, hokey, idiot compassion thing where we're pretending that everything is sweet and nice when underneath we're burning with rage for all the things that have happened, telling ourselves that we've dealt with the anger. But, you go to courses like Matt Kahn puts on, for example, with his book, Whatever Arises, Love That. So, he, as an example of the typical teaching, is telling people to love whatever arises in their mind. Saying that that is loving yourself. Resting everything on the concept and idea that anger, fear, and sadness are part of you. So you should love it. And people are actually paying thousands of dollars to go to courses that teach that. I think he charges $400 or $700 an hour for personal sessions, claiming that he's in touch with the ascended masters and telling people to embrace and love their anger, fear, and sadness. And what's interesting is when you look at the groups attached to him and other teachings like that, it's the same people with the same problems complaining about the same shit time after time, year after year. They keep doing more courses and it never goes away. Now, this is not about a personal attack on any other teacher, but we need to expose things that need to be exposed for what they are, which is fraud. Because the truth is, and the Buddha taught it, Jesus taught it, Rumi taught it, is that your divine self is only pure, spacious, enlightened, awakened love and compassion that arises spontaneously with no effort. And anything other than that is not a part of your divine self. Anything other than that is like an implant that has been put on top of all of that, on top of your spontaneous, beautiful self, in order to keep you stuck in suffering. So, if you were just acting from your purely awakened self, you would only do things out of that purely awakened self, and all these industries built on fear, excessive alcohol, drugs, gambling, pornography, fast food, all the bullshit, none of that exists if everybody is enlightened, right? So these people selling you the Kardashians, selling you all the bullshit that, feeds your habit of sitting on the couch and doing nothing with your life, none of that exists in a more enlightened reality. So if all of that bullshit, all of that negativity in your mind is not really you, why, in God's name, should you love it and embrace it? Because the more you embrace it and say, I'm okay with it, the longer it stays. Now, we don't want to go on the flip side, which is where we turn into hating it, hating our anger, hating our fear, hating our sadness, because then we're acting out of hatred, which we've just gone the back door into acting again out of an unenlightened place. So the trick is to find that very important tantric balance that we keep talking about between your divine feminine, sweet and soft energy, and the divine masculine, firm and pushy, and find that balance where you get those disturbing emotions out of your life without hating them, and the disturbing people and habit patterns and all the rest of it, so that you create space and room for the love and compassion that you want to feel to be there spontaneously without trying to manufacture it in some bullshit way by telling yourself that you should just love everything. Because that new agey style of teaching has been around since the 60s, and where has it really gotten us, if we're honest? What real change have we seen in our society? We've seen growth in yoga, we've seen growth in Buddhism, we've seen some surface level change, but part of the reasons the 60s toppled and fell apart into the greed and materialism of the 80s eventually is because the 60s was way too airy-fairy and not grounded in any kind of reality. So what good is a spirituality that's not applied to everyday life, that's not making our life better, that's not making the society better? As soon as we get out into la-la woo-woo land of everything's love and sweet, it gives the establishment an excuse to say, look at these people are all just spiritually weird. And then they put the whole movement out into some drug-fueled sort of... It makes it easier for them to discount spiritual people as lacking a basis in reality. And that's a big problem for us. It's a big problem. Because that is the way that the establishment marginalizes the entire spiritual movement. And I know, because as spiritual as I am, I also went to Princeton and Harvard Business School. I was a banker, so I really understand the nuts and bolts of the system and the way that they think and the way that they try to put down any sort of uprising of change. And one of the greatest ways they do it is by marginalizing and discounting spiritual people as unrealistic. So it's our job, it's nobody else's job, it's our job to be more real and to make our spirituality more applied. It's time to get out of the church and out of the temple and into everyday life. Your prayer and your devotion is in your behavior, is in the way you act every minute of every day. Not just going and sitting on the cushion and praying and then going back to being the same afraid, lazy person that we have always been. we have to make, like here in Bali, their behavior shows their spirit. Their actions are their prayer. And that's why they have good family structures. They're happy people because they make it real. So it's time to stop complaining. Get honest about the shit in your life. Look at it and then figure out what you're going to do to change it. And make that action your prayer. Make the action to improve your life your devotion to the divine, to your higher self, showing them and you that you're serious this time. That it's not going to be any more talk and courses and on and on and on, that you're going to get real about change. Finish this video and write down a list of all the things that you need to change, people, whatever, and start cleaning your house. Because otherwise, our spirituality is just a bunch of bullshit. If you need help, send me a message. Go get some coach, somebody who will hold you accountable to your change. Even if it's not me, somebody, please. I love you lots. Many blessings. Have a great day. Bye.